Daniel asks, what's the fastest theoretical 3x3 solve? So, it's probably, it's a really difficult thing to kind of answer. Because I don't think anybody's going to be looking at, the FMC stuff. Like, oh yeah, 16 move solution, how fast can you do that? When it's probably really difficult to execute fast anyway. But, a 30 move finger trick friendly solution, theoretically, you could get under 2 seconds. It's probably possible. It'd be very difficult, and I don't think I'd ever do it, but it's probably possible. LJ Cubing, congrats for 700 subs. Thank you, but that's not a question. Kavita Shriramoj. Which is better, WRM 2021 or New MGC? Ooh, I don't know. I don't know yet. Try them both. Getting you to buy 2 cubes instead of 1 is brilliant, isn't it? Speedcube Cat, did you meet your 2021 store goals? I didn't really set any goals, but yeah, sort of. What are your 2022 store goals? To sell more cubes in 2022 than 2021, hopefully. And yeah, actually sponsor cubing competitions. Do more market stalls than I've ever done before. Yeah, hopefully I find a few more Christmas shopping fairs later in the year. Yeah, and just promote cubing, cube a lot. Thuzin Aung, when did you start your channel? February 2017 under the name Intermediate Cuber. So I wasn't really running a cube store then, but I did do a few weird unboxings, like unboxing 8 along 3x. Well, no, it was unboxing 8 MO3RSs. That was it back then, the main budget cube back in 2017. And yeah, I just kind of did a bit then. But then when I started the store, I changed the name to speedcubing.org on the channel and grew it from there, because it's kind of like, well, I've already got a channel with 100 subscribers, don't really want to start a new one. Let's Cube, congrats for 700 subs. I sub, and good luck for the winner. Hope I will win. Happy face. Thank you. That's not a question. Diya Sri Krishna, what is your favourite event in WCA? 7x7 probably. A fan of GAN, what are your thoughts in the P-Cube S3R? It's a decent cube. It's quite blocky, but it's a decent cube, but I don't think it's really main potential for me. But it's worth trying if you want to try something new, and as I said, it's a new designer, support them. Aronator 21, how long have you been queuing for roughly? Ooh, about 9 years, 17 days, and 19 hours and about 30 minutes. Yeah, I think my first solve was about 4 PM on the 17th of December 2012. So I'm just doing maths in my head. S. Nolan, do you know any competitions that are coming in the Southeast? Unfortunately not. I hope you mean Southeast of the UK. I presume you do. Unfortunately, I don't know of anything. The only competition I know about is Wakefield. I don't have any insider knowledge at the moment. I have a feeling they'll announce some more stuff soon, and there's bound to be something in the Southeast. I mean, come on, the school where they did Crawley Open and August Bank Holiday competitions, or the school where they did Guildford Open, surely they're going to let you do a cubing competition there again. Like, delegates live around there anyway. But I don't know. SR, how old are you? 19, I've already answered that. Beast cubing, how did you get into cubing? I saw a cube on the shelf. My mum happened to know how to solve it, so she taught me. Finding Rask. Should I get the RS3M 2020 or X-Man Tornado Victor? Yeah, so I would say I'd say Neutrino RS3M 2020, basically. Like, I just don't like the Tornado V2M, but like, it is probably more likely to be used among top cubers, and he's a flagship, and he's more expensive, but I'd say Neutrino RS3M 2020. Cubing room, yo, probably copying Cupid. What if 2x2 was invented first? Well, the funny thing is, 2x2 was invented first, before the 3x3 at least. The Pyraminx was invented in 1967, 2x2 in 1970, 3x3 in 1974. 3x3 was then sold in 1976 at a toy fair in Hungary, whatever, and then went viral in the 1980s, spreading throughout Europe and then later in the USA, and just became really popular. And it was because of the popularity of the 3x3 that then the 2x2 design was copied, and its original patent holder, who invented it back in 1970, then sued Rubix for selling the 2x2s and actually the 3x3s as well, but that lawsuit was declined because it wasn't similar enough. And then 2x2 became popular after the 3x3. So the 3x3 is still the fact as well. Now, if the 2x2 was popularized first, like, it probably would be more popular, but I kind of get the impression that it just wouldn't be the same, because it is easier and it gets the impression of being easier. So, like, I think 3x3 would still end up being the most popular in the end, because, like, when I have my cubes laid out at market stores, it's like, I think the impression is people think 2x2s are easier, and then I usually have Pyraminxes over on the far side, and people don't know whether they're easier than 3x3s, and I have to say, yeah, they kind of are. But 3x3s are definitely the best selling by far. Yeah. But yeah, the inventor of the Pyraminx is also apparently fond of saying that if it wasn't for the 3x3 being released, like, you probably never heard of the Pyraminx. Where do you live? Well, currently in Loughborough. Out of term time in Leatherhead. The Cube Bender. Would you ship it to Kenya? Well, I guess if somebody in Kenya won, I'd probably try to. Just hope it gets there. I mean, a lot of these developing countries have rather unreliable shipping, unfortunately. Rud Poll, how many cubes do you sell per month? Probably about 500-ish. It's I don't really know. I don't keep track of actual numbers of cubes being sold. I can have a look at orders and stuff like that, but and revenue. But yeah, probably about 500. And more if I do market stills. 2 Gen Alharic. Oh yeah, 5.0, not more. Bluery God, what is your time you want to get in 3x3 until the end of 2022? It'd be nice to like average 8 point something, and hopefully I'll get a sub 5 single, but like, it doesn't really matter about singles. Lick It Jane, good channel, thank you, but that's not a question. Aunda, what is your cubing average? 9.8, no, just about sub 10. J-Man21, how long did it take for you to be sub 20 then sub 10? Sub 20, I got sub 20 at the end of 2016, so yeah, 4 years, but does it really count when I'm using a stupid Rubik's brand and not progressing for nearly 2 years, and then not really practicing that much? I mean, easily somebody could get sub 20. A few months, like genuinely. Like now with all these modern cubes, if you practice enough, you can be sub 20 in a few months. Sub 10, yeah, it took me almost 9 years. But realistically, you could do it in under a year if you practice enough and have good cubes and learn stuff. Gears, how many cubes do you have personally? Count them if you care. About 200. Thunderclap J cubing. I have no speed cube. If I get that, I will be happy. And I responded, I recommend you get one anyway. Because, yeah, if you don't have a speed cube, I do genuinely recommend that you get one anyway. And to be honest, I don't know where this person lives. And, like, if he lives in a poor country, it might be quite difficult to get a speed cube. But it's also probably quite unreliable for me to ship there, unfortunately. So yeah, it's a difficult one. Obviously, if you live in the UK, just get a job and, or just go round if you like, genuinely go round a supermarket car park, and if there's an abandoned trolley with a pound coin in it, go and take that abandoned trolley to the trolley rack. You get a pound coin. You can probably, if you go around a big supermarket car park, you can probably find 2 of them on average. Just do that a few days in a row, and within a few days, you'll have enough to buy a speed cube. There we go. Obviously, it might be different in other countries, but in the UK, it's that easy to get enough money to buy a speed cube. Cubing. Where are you from? The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Sashin Narjnari. How old are you? 19. Which cube do you hate the most? The Rubik's 4x4. Yeah. Probably. Which is better, GAN or Moyu? I mean, there's probably even worse cubes, actually. GAN or Moyu? Ooh. Overall is going to have to be Moyu, just because they've made cubes for every event, whereas GAN they've finally got round to like expanding a bit out of 3x3, but they still haven't made a decent 4x4, and they still haven't even tried to make a 5x5, 6x6, 7x7, square one. Well, no, they did make a Megaminx. That's true, although it's really expensive, and I don't think it's that good, really. Although I haven't really tried it that much anyway. New Ralph. How long did it take you to average the times you average now? 9 years. Although I haven't really improved much in the last few years, so doesn't make much difference. Like I averaged 12 in 2017, at the end of 2017, and now I average sub 10. 4 years, very little improvement. Relatable cartoons. When do you think you will hit 1K subscribers? I don't know. Get me there. Quickly. Subscribe if you haven't already. And watch my videos. Like them. Comment on them. Share them. And maybe by the middle of the year, or even sooner, could be at 1,000 subscribers. Cubish World. What inspired you to start a cube store? Seeing people having bad cubes, as I've already said, and wanting to sell them. No. What is your main event and what do you average on it? Well, my best event is 7x7, but I don't practice it that much. But sub 3. I probably practice 3x3 most, just like most people, and I'm finally sub 10. Do you think Maglev is the future of cubing, or will it fail? Or it will fail. That's bad grammar, by the way. Not that I'm very good at grammar, anyway. Will it fail? Like, I think people will buy Maglev cubes, but ultimately I don't think it's actually that good. I don't think it makes a huge difference at all. But I think people will continue buying them because it's new and cool and whatever. Super Scoob, what is your main event? Congratulations on 700 subs. My main event is probably practice 3x3 mode. Pokemon HQ. Oh right, already answered that. What is your Yaman Gamer? What is your favorite YouTuber? As I said, I just don't really know. Like I've mentioned it before. I already answered that question. basically. Wait a minute. Right, okay. Anika Saju. How long have you been cubing for? 9 years, just over. Which all ALG sets, apart from OLL and PLL, are worth learning? For example, ZBLL, CLL. Right, okay. So if you plan on learning full ZBLL at some point, or you're considering doing it, I'd recommend learning COLL. Just because it helps with the recognition. I don't think COLL is actually that useful in terms of the cubing times. However, it teaches you recognition that you then could be useful for ZBLL if you ever get around to learning ZBLL. I haven't done so. I learned COLL like 4 years ago now, at the beginning of 2018. And honestly, I don't think it makes that much difference. And I've stopped using certain COLL ALGs because I've just realised like they're not worth it. Like it's just not worth avoiding a harder PLL because the ALG itself is just harder to do. But if you do want to learn full ZBLL at some point, then learn full CLL first because it teaches you the recognition. And it's only 42 ALGs. It's not even as big as full OLL. And once you've learned full OLL, it shouldn't be too difficult. But what's your main? Why is it your main? Yeah, getting 12 lead because I like it. Do you ship for free for future giveaways? Of course. Like I'll send it out to you wherever you are in the world. Please be in the UK so it's cheap to ship. But if you're international, fine. Whatever. Lucas Maziarek. Why? Why what? Because. Elias AU, what is your favourite cube brand overall? Now this is a difficult question to answer. And they've mentioned best WCA cube / non-WCA puzzles. So I mean, I try to work it out and look at like these things. Like YJ have some really good WCA puzzles, but they don't even have. Well, they do have every WCA puzzle, but they don't have good ones for all WCA puzzles. Whereas, like Mo, you have loads and loads of stuff. Like they must be really big, and they have all sorts of non-WCA stuff under their Maylog series. But then Chi also have similar stuff. But I think the Maylog stuff is, in general, probably slightly better than the Chi non-WCA stuff. I'm not really sure. I haven't really tried that much. So I'm going to say MoU overall for now, but that changes. And when it comes to WCA events, like I work it out, like a company comes along and suddenly the order's changed. So I think last time I was asked this sort of question, it's like, 3 of my mains are YJ, 3 of my mains are GAN, 3 of my mains are MoU, and like, I don't know. I think now the majority of my mains are... Well, are they though? Because am I going to switch to the Waylong Pyraminx? Because if I do, then suddenly 3 of my mains are MoU again. And only 3 are GAN. Whereas if I stick to the GAN Pyraminx, then it's 4 are GAN, 2 are MoU, 3 are YJ. Except for square 1, which I'm not counting, and clock, which I'm not counting at the moment. But if I did, I think I'd use the YJMGC square 1 and obviously the G got. Neil Govindavjala. When did you start cubing? What motivated you? Already. I found a cube on the shelf. Love the vids, thanks for all the videos. And that is it. Well, thank you everyone. And yep, at some point in one part of these videos, I will squeeze in announcing the winner. But I don't know who it will be as recording this video. So yep, if you watched the end, thank you. And if you haven't, well, I hope you didn't see winner. But anyway, I'm not going to go any more in that. Yeah, please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. In fact, yeah, I was looking at the YouTube Studio stuff, and like most people watching these videos haven't subscribed. Which, yeah, why? Why not? It's just one click of a button, and it's really easy. And yeah, please support my store by buying cubes.